Hello and welcome back to the stream. I don't think anyone's gonna be here tonight. I think everybody's gone out tonight, so I'm probably just gonna be talking to myself, but I might just do a short one. I think I worked out some bugs with my PC. I think there was a whole bunch of stuff running in the background that was making it lag a lot yesterday, but yeah. You know, we do our best, but sometimes our best is not good enough. So that's what happens. Hi, KX. Hope you're having a good weekend. Anyway, I'm just gonna get into the spelling bee. If people drop by, that's cool, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a quiet one tonight. There we go. I remembered to put it off. Okay, we have to make words out of the letters A, I, T, U, L, N, and we have to use the letter C. Oh, hey Ibrahim, I haven't seen you for a while. How are you? Did you make an account on Kick? I mean on Twitch instead of Kick? I'm gonna go for the word tacit. Hey Dango, good to see you. Lactate. Oh no, there's no E. I cannot think of any words. This is gonna be a long night. How are you? I'm good, Ibrahim. How are you? How did your exam go? Did you do well in the exam that you were worried about? I hope you did. Talc? Yeah, talc's a good word. Yeah, this one is a bit hard. We don't have our genius Hyperbovian today. He DM'd me and said he was going on a board game night, so he's off playing board games with his friends, which I mean is fair. It's fair enough. It's the weekend, so he should play I can't talk. I almost said bald games. I don't know, maybe he is playing board games. Maybe he's playing board games with bald men. We never know. That could be what's happening. Sigh. Nah, no O. Lunatic. That is a really good one. That is a really, really good one, Dango. Wow, yeah, that was amazing. We'll have Luna as well. Oh no, because we can't, because it doesn't have a C. Duh. Not a word. Why is this so hard? It's hard because Hyperbovian isn't here and he always has all the answers. Cat. Ta. Clears. No. Can't make that. I see. Oh, illicit. We can have illicit, right? Is that how you spell it? Not a word. Illicit. Okay, we can have illicit. Cool. Especially if I learn to spell illicit, then we can have illicit. Attic, I think has a K, but we'll just try it. Oh, it let us have attic. Awesome. Atlantic. Not a word. How is Atlantic not a word? Atlantic is a word. Am I crazy? Atlantic. It's an ocean. That is just rude. Lactic. Titanic. Oh, it took Titanic. It took the word Titanic. Yay. It took the word Titanic, but it wouldn't take the word Atlantic, which is the ocean that the Titanic sailed on. So, I mean, go figure. But it doesn't typically take place names. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But anyway, we got through it. See you later, Ibrahim. Hope you have a good day or night. Havana's home. That's probably Cuba, right? Cuba. Last word in many bowling alley names. I don't know. Lots and lots. Left-leaning social media site. I mean, half the internet, really. Hepburn of Breakfast at Tiffany's. Audrey. Oh. Word after break or banana. Muffin? I don't know. Car loan figs. They always shoot their shot. Brand new. Woman with the good hair. Oh, I know that. That's Becky. Also, woman talking about the big butt in what's that song? Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. In need of moisturizer. Arid? That could be arid. I'm not sure though. We'll try arid. We can't hear you back here. Drink noisily. Huh. Drink noisily. I don't know. Last words in many bowling alley names. I don't We have like a chain in Australia. I think it's just called 10-pin bowling. Or what's it called? I don't know. 6 down slurp. Yeah, that works actually. One down, they always shoot their shot. Who always shoots their shot? I don't know. Cowboys? It doesn't fit. 2 down, brand new. Could it be unused? Unused. I'm gonna try that. Just because I think it fits. Left-leaning social media site. Word after break or banana? Word after break or banana? I don't know. Carlone figs. I don't even know where to begin with that. Left-leaning social media site. Oh, that's Blue Sky, right? Blue Sky. Like, that's the new Twitter they tried to make. Lots and lots. What's the last word in many bowling alley names? I have no idea. Last name. 5 across is lanes. Okay, that makes sense because you have bowling lanes. Ooh. Oh, 7 Ganoush. Baba Ganoush. Oh, this must be ashy. I think I've heard American people say that skin is ashy when it's dehydrated. I've heard like girls on YouTube say, oh, my skin's so ashy, I'm gonna put moisturizer on. I think... Word after break or banana. That's BR something something. Oh no, Hyperbovian's working. You DM'd me and told me you were going to your friend's house for board games. Do you have to work instead of going out? That sucks. 6, lots and lots. So much? I don't know. Banana bread, break bread. Oh, banana bread, break bread. Okay, we got that. Camera. They always shoot their shot, is cameras. Okay, so we've got to work out the last one. What's 5 down? Oh, louder. Yay, we did it! Congratulations to us. Now for our favorite game. Everyone's favorite game, Connections. The game that is not frustrating at all. Yay. It's gonna be hard, I know. It's always hard. Alright. We probably all know the rules by now, but 4 themes, 4 words per theme. Back, support, time, elaborate, minute, victor. Particular, second, age, uniform, kilo, period, day, champion, thorough, and echo. Age, time, day, period. Oh no, second actually. Time, period. These are all measurements of time. But the day is as well. I'm going to try that anyway. No. Alright. Age, day, period. I better not be wrong again, actually. I better think about that. Kilo, second. Particular, thorough. Particular, thorough. Victor, champion. Victor and champion mean the same thing. I don't know, guys. I am so stumped. Time, second, minute, age. I did try a variant of that, but I think it was different. Yeah. I tried for like the time periods or the measurement of time, and it spat it out, so. And it spat out that as well. So I think it's like a red herring. Or I did like stuff for like measurements. Like I did kilo. What did I do? I did kilo, minute, second. And I can't remember what the other one was that I did. But it didn't like it. Particular and thorough mean the same thing. Champion and victor mean the same thing. But what's the theme? I mean, that doesn't really help. Hello, Polka. Nice to see you. Welcome to the chat. I'm so tired. I slept until like 1 PM today and I'm still so tired. I don't know. This is so confusing. Uniform. Elaborate, thorough, particular, support. No, we got one left. We're gonna die. We're going to die. Minute, time, second, period. And we're dead. Yay, we died. Oops. That's some inside baseball there. Accidentally had my Twitch thing up. Yeah, probably gonna do a short stream today because I don't have any mods in chat, so not that anyone is doing anything naughty today, but you know, it's still not a good idea to go live with no moderators. I did turn off Kick because going on Kick without a moderator is like very dangerous. But yeah, I think I managed to get my videos working. I did actually have a bunch of stuff running in the background yesterday that I thought I had closed. So I think that's what was causing a lot of the lag. I mean, this PC's a piece of crap, but yeah, it's not usually that bad. So I don't know. Apparently there is a missing minute or so, or the footage of Epstein's cell when he, you know, roped is missing. So I don't know. Let's have a look, I guess.
The raw Epstein footage was modified according to its metadata, despite Dan Bongino previously saying that they would release the original footage so you wouldn't think there were shenanigans.
There's video. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced and we're going to give the original so you don't think.
No, that's not what you're doing. You're doctoring the footage. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. You got sprung. And then we're also going to give you the original so you don't think we're doing anything naughty. Yeah, but people can tell when an original file's been tampered with. Like, most lay people know how to do that now. It's not, you know. I mean, when I say most lay people, not me, but I'm a bimbo. I mean, most people that know their way around computers and, you know, right-clicking on things, looking at the data, looking at the metadata, blah, 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 blah. Like, people can, that's how people can tell, like, when websites and stuff like that have been modified, what day they've been modified, when people, like, you know, try and sneakily delete things and erase things from the internet. Like, everyone can work it out.
There were any shenanigans?
Well, unfortunately, not what we got. Even the raw video, the original video, was put into Adobe Premiere Pro. This is a scoop from Wired. Quote, metadata shows the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein prison video was likely modified. And basically, they pulled the metadata and showed that the footage appears to be assembled from at least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, and then uploaded to the DOJ's website, where it was presented as raw footage, which technically it is not.
What are they trying to hide? What do you think they're trying to hide? Huh.
Now I pulled the EXIF data myself. This is what it looks like. You can see that there's these ingredients file path here where you can see 4 different files. 2 of them are just identical. So 2 unique files here that have been basically stitched together is the most charitable interpretation. But look, the stunning incompetence, if that's what this is kind of hard to take. Just over and over, they sort of hype up what they have and then deliver something different in a meaningful way. I mean, you cannot say, hey, we're gonna give you original footage so you don't think there are shenanigans, and then you splice together 2 clips of Premiere Pro. I mean, yes, maybe you didn't do anything with it, but it kind of ruins the whole chain of evidence. Wired actually...
Well, yeah, there's no reason for you to not present the original unadulterated footage. Like, even if you haven't, you know, spliced something out or you're not doing anything untoward, it doesn't really, you know, give people good faith to believe anything that you have to say when you've been like, this is the raw footage and it's clearly not the raw footage, and anybody can, you know, look at the metadata of the footage and go, well, I can see here, here, and here, and here that it's, you know, it's not the unadulterated footage. Like, what do you, of course people are going to think there's some type of conspiracy. I wonder if, like, yeah, because who has the power to hide all this stuff, right? Like, we know that Trump and Epstein were friends. Is there something going on there? Like, what's going on? Like, it's very justifiable that people want answers, that people find it very strange. It's like, if you had nothing to hide, then why would you not just give the unedited, unadulterated video? Just slap it on there.
Quotes a professor of UC Berkeley whose research focuses on digital forensics. He has testified in numerous court cases, and he says, if a lawyer brought me this file and asked if it was suitable for court, I'd say no, go back to the source, do it right, do a direct export from the original system, no monkey business. So that kind of puts it all together. I mean, maybe this is all charitably just incompetence. Charitably, it was just, hey, there was a minute at night missing because it's an old analog video system and there were 2 different files. They spliced it together. But even that is like, was done horribly in the worst possible way. For instance, the video aspect ratio suddenly shifts as the tape changes over, or whatever they claim. You can see that right here. There's like a sudden shift in the video. I have not changed this video in any way. I have it in the Premiere Pro timeline, which I guess they had as well. So this is as intended. So there's this just weird shifts in the footage. I mean, this was done in actually a very sloppy way after they explicitly talked about needing to do it in the right way so the American public could rely on it.
I'm not going to withhold information from the American public ever, but I'm also not going to rush to get it out there in a format in which they can't rely on it.
Except that's exactly what they did. The promises that were made are just consistently not kept. When you go on Fox News and say you're gonna do it right, you're gonna give us the original video so we don't think there are shenanigans, and then you do this, yes, we can interpret you charitably, but it leaves room for doubt. It's not only the case that
if they're not hiding anything, it's very, very stupid for them to have edited this video and presented it as being like the raw, unadulterated footage. It would be very, 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 very stupid, because people know that there's like 12-year-old kids that are like, you know, can hack like into CERN or you know, something like that. Like there are kids that basically are augmented with their computers. Like they live and breathe like all this stuff. I mean, I'm a bimbo. I'm not the best with technology, but what was that? Oh, that was my phone falling on the ground. Yay. I'm really glad I bought like a military grade case for my phone, because I literally just threw it on the ground. What was I saying? Yeah. It was very, very dumb. Little kids can work this stuff out these days, so you've got to be really careful.
At 11:58 p.m., the aspect ratio changes. It's also the case that the enhanced version and the raw version also differ from each other in how the aspect ratio changes. You can see that originally the enhanced and the regular raw version line up perfectly in terms of aspect ratio. But when the camera flips over to this new day, now their aspect ratio is actually off from each other. So why? I mean, this is like so obviously bad. They said they were taking their time with this. They said, oh, no shenanigans here. But this wasn't a complicated job. It was just about, like, they did mild sharpening and contrast boosting. Why they're playing around with the aspect ratio like they're a film director in their first year of film school is unimaginable to me. I just cannot understand why you would be doing this in such a sloppy way. So just incredibly incompetent work here is the nicest way to say it. We know now that the Epstein footage that they have released to us, even the raw footage, was modified. Last thing I want to say is that it's the final day of Crime is Legal merch. 10% off at the link below now. The raw...
I don't know. Should I watch another CopyZilla video? I feel bad watching 2 of his videos in a row. But this is also about Epstein, I think. Is it? I think it is. Yeah. Look, I think Trump... I'm not saying that Trump's done anything untoward or anything like that. I don't know. But I think there is perhaps something that he doesn't want people to know. And... well, there are a lot of very rich, very powerful people that don't want us finding out anything about Epstein. They just want it to go away. But I mean, it obviously is a public interest story. And there's a reason why the public's so interested in it, right? Like, I do really feel like we have a right to know.
My lifetime, the Epstein case. The reason I'm talking about it so much is because if you can get away with this, you really can get away with anything. If the government can tell people to not believe what they just said a few months ago and have everyone be fine with that, that's just a level of gaslighting that I refuse to be a part of. Never forget, they just promised us names in the release of the Epstein files.
Breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released.
What kind?
A lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information.
Where is
in
it?
this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking that there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept.
Ricochet is saying that Mar-a-Lago was a source of women to Epstein. That's Trump's like Florida property, isn't it? Where he hangs out and plays golf and whatever else. Look, I don't know, but there's obviously something nefarious going on, right? Like, rich people get super weird. Rich people get really, really weird. And I think when you're rich and you can buy anything in the world, you get bored, right? And you start doing more extreme stuff. It's like, do you know about the really rich men in Dubai? How they will get S-workers from the United States and stuff. Like, they'll basically go on Instagram and find hot women and message them and be like, we'll pay you $50,000 or, you know, some large amount of money to these women. They'll say, we'll pay you this money, come over here and party with us. And then they do the most degrading stuff to these women. And they're called Dubai porta potties. So I'll let you fill in the blanks of some of the stuff that they do to these women. And then they pay them in cash. And then, as these women who have been through this trauma for days and days and days of like men defecating on them and degrading them, I read some accounts of like even women being made to do S with animals and all these types of things, because these rich people are just so, they can have anything they want, right? So they start getting bored and they start needing more and more extreme things to be entertained. So they're like, oh, we'll just pay, you know, these influencers money to come over here. So they'll pay them like 50. Oh, hello, Gumble Gobble. So they'll pay these women like in cash, and then they'll report it to like customs. So these women end up with no money, right? Because these rich men will take the money back. They'll report it to customs so they can get their money back. So these women have like been flown out. They'll often get flown out first class, all this stuff. So, you know, they feel like a princess. They're like, wow, I'm so beautiful. These men just want to party with me. And they get there. And yeah, that's not what it is. It's insane. But I think it's along, I wouldn't put it past, you know, I think men are men all over the world, and I wouldn't put it past, you know, Western men to be doing the same types of things. Like, we know they're into like a lot of depraved stuff. So, yeah, it's just, it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. There's a lot of disgusting stuff in the world, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. There's still the Trump P tape. Oh, I imagine there's more than that, Ricochet. I imagine there's a lot more than that.
Secret and not been held accountable.
Yeah, well, apparently there are no names to be given. No list, no blackmail. Epstein has now been pushed as a lone trafficker. It's the lone trafficker.
Oh, you think the PP tape was in Dubai? Well, that would make sense. Apparently, they do some really, like, I've watched a few like little documentaries about it, and like, you know, women giving their own accounts of like what happened to them over there. It's absolutely insane. Like there's no amount of money that you could pay someone to go through that trauma, I don't think, because say they gave you $1 million and you could buy a house, but in a lot of the Western world you can't even buy a house with $1 million anymore. Like in Australia, $1 million isn't getting you anything. It might get you like a cubby house, it might get you a shed, but it's not going to get you a house. In a lot of places, it's going to get you nothing. So you get paid that money, but like how much money are you going to need for counseling, for therapy? How much money, like what if you're so traumatized that you can never work again? Like, yeah, it's, yeah, it just sounds, bleh, it's just gross. Rich people are gross.
Theory, guys. Essentially, the government's memo that they just released contradicts everything we've seen before, and now basically implies that Epstein was trafficking to himself, and Ghislaine Maxwell was trafficking to Epstein, and there was no other blackmail or trafficking going on. That's what this memo essentially implies. His wealth and his power then would be just from his skill as a New York financier.
I'm talking about Jeff Epstein, the New York financier.
Basically, he was the world's greatest tax advisor by day and the world's greatest trafficker at night to himself. And the rich and powerful people who all flocked to him and to his island had no idea of this double. That really is kind of the heart of the modern theory, is that just all Epstein by himself, and then his friends just were there for his tax advice, despite not being a tax professional or a lawyer. Not only that, another huge revelation is the fact that really the government has increased the number of victims and decreased the number of perpetrators, right? We had the idea that there were these other perpetrators for a while, that they were just redacted because the government was building cases. Now we got pretty clear statements that there isn't evidence to bring future cases on third parties. But if you look at the original 2019...
It is all a very, very, very strange. And I mean, Elon Musk and Trump were both pictured with him. You know, the Clintons used to party with him. There's all these celebrities that are... You know, if any of them go down, then the rest of them go down. So I don't even think it's about like left, right, you know, this, that, the other. I think it's all about like camaraderie in him being disgusting rich creeps. It's the elite sticking together, right? Because whether they're left, whether they're right, whether they're like liberal Hollywood or they're far right, you know, MAGA bros, they're all apparently creeps. And yeah, I think they will protect each other in that sense.
In indictment, it says dozens of victims. This is from Ken Klippenstein, but the Epstein review says over 1,000 victims. So what happened, guys? And by the way, in the interim, they also increased the number to 200 to 250. 200
victims. 200. So we have well over 250 actually.
So we went from dozens to 200 to over 1,000 in the span of basically a year in terms of victims. We like 10x the number of victims, but now there's no perpetrators. Like the perpetrators have been reduced. That is the crazy thing about what they're implying here, what this lone traffic theory is pushing forward. It's also strange because previously Epstein in a court filing is said to have provided information to the FBI as agreed upon. Case agent advised that no federal prosecution will occur in this matter as long as Epstein continues to uphold his agreement with the state of Florida. So apparently there was some deal where Epstein was providing information to the FBI. What information?
If Epstein was singing like a canary, if Epstein was, you know, telling all of the, spilling all the tea, if you will, saying who all the disgusting sex pests, you know, amongst the elite are. That's 100% why he was taken out. Like, it's not rocket science. Once you have that many data points, you've basically got a big arrow pointing to the truth, right? Like, it's not... You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist or a nut or, you know, think about it very, very hard to work out that if he had some type of plea deal with Florida in exchange for information, And you have to think that like a lot of the people that would also be implicated in this are incredibly rich. And when you're incredibly rich, you have access to things, you have access to people. You can pay. If you have money, you can essentially buy anything, is what I'm trying to say. So trying to, you know, how much do corrections officers get paid? Well, it's not very much. So if you're a very rich man and you're staring down the barrel of a sentence for R wording or PDF in, if you will, even if you were to pay a screw, which is what we call corrections officers in Australia, like that's what we call prison guards. I don't know if they call them that in other parts of the world, but we call them screws. If you were to pay a screw, even $1 million, if you're a billionaire and that's like going to help you with your freedom, you pay them to turn around, look the other way while you have your dudes come in. Maybe, you know, they're food delivery people. Maybe they're this, that, the other. You maybe inject Epstein with something and you know, put a noose around his neck. You know, make it look like he roped himself. And then how much is it to pay off a coroner? Okay, a coroner makes good money. A coroner maybe makes, you know, $200,000-$300,000 a year, depending on where in the world they are and how much that skill is valued. You know, forensics and medicine are obviously high paying jobs. But how much money would you have to pay off everybody in that lab? Like, everybody's got family, everybody's got financial stress in their lives, you know, unless you are one of these billionaires. You don't have to get to that many people, and you don't have to pay off that many people, or you don't have to threaten that many people's family to make this all go away. That's all I'm saying.
We don't know because no one else was involved. There's also the simple fact that if you go to the FBI records, what they call the vault, most of the files are just heavily redacted. So the idea that we got some transparency wave is literally a joke. Yes, it is true. There's no Epstein list where there's like names written down, but names exist in documents, on videos, in images, and they're all redacted. What's going on here? They're gonna say, oh, it's all for the victims, right? But it's not all victim names. In addition to that, this lone trafficker theory is already on shaky grounds when you think about Prince Andrew's settlement with Virginia Giuffre, where he paid $16 million to make civil sexual assault allegations go away. Now, of course, it's worth saying that he did not admit to guilt. This was a settlement, but that is what you're always going to have with these rich and powerful people. In the same way, you also have Leon Black, who reportedly paid $158 million over 5 years to Jeffrey Epstein for tax advice. And guess what? Leon Black, billionaire, also paid the U.S. Virgin Islands $62 million in cash as part of a settlement, a non-prosecution, where they wouldn't go after him for anything from, quote, any and all claims of any nature whatsoever, specifically related to Jeffrey Epstein. It's worth noting that $15 million of this cash payment will be going to counseling programs and activities or mental health services. You also have Jess Staley, the former boss of Barclays. He directly admitted to having sex with a member of Epstein's staff, which you would expect if someone was running a trafficking operation. Although, I just have to say that there was a statement that this was entirely consensual, and I'm not saying anything about that. I'm simply saying the idea that Epstein was just trafficking for himself is unlikely to be true, in my opinion. Later, Staley wrote to Epstein, "Say hi to Snow White." Epstein replied, "What character would you like next?" Staley responded, "Beauty and the Beast." And then Jeffrey Epstein said, well, one side is available. Obviously, some type of coded message. You can read into that for yourself, but all of this is public. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what makes the government's memo so infuriating, is so much reporting has already been done. These settlements with powerful figures, under denials, yes, but also under very questionable circumstances, make just a complete denial and statement that all of this was just Epstein impossible to believe. In September 2009, Epstein also emailed a woman named Irina to tell her that Jess Staley is staying in the Berkeley Hotel in London tonight. Staley emailed Epstein the next day to say, I should have taken your offer, according to the...
Yeah, that sounds like he was trading in females. Hopefully adult females, but knowing what we know, probably not the case, unfortunately. Like, the guy's plane to his PDF file island was literally called the Lolita Express. So, you know, he liked to have it hidden in plain sight.
There's also this book by one of the 60 Minutes correspondents called A Ticking Clock, where he says that he met with Ghislaine Maxwell, and he said, I want the tapes. I said to Maxwell at a table at Regency Bar, I know he was videotaping everyone. I want the tape of Trump with the girls. She didn't deny the existence of the tapes, but said, I don't know where they are. He apparently replied, ask Epstein, and she gave him a stern look and pointed a finger at my face. I'm the daughter of a press baron. I know the way you people think. If you do one side, you must do the other. If you get tapes on Trump, you have to do Clinton. Now, again, what you make of a third-hand source like this, talking to Ghislaine Maxwell, who apparently doesn't deny that some of these tapes exist, was she even telling the truth or doing some game? Either way, this was all known about, not just by people after the fact, but allegedly by people during the fact. This is from Mark Epstein. It's sourced from Jeffrey Epstein.
Do you think that's a tape with Elon? Who do we think? Who do we think are in the tapes? Like, probably Trump, probably Elon. Obviously, we're just speculating here. We're not accusing anyone of anything. But let's just say, if there are tapes, who do we think would be in them? Trump bought that plane, repainted it, and now flies around, you know. Is that real? If that's real, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
Quote, if I said what I know about both candidates, they'd have to cancel the election. That's what Jeffrey told me in 2016. So not even Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly were claiming this was all just between them. They were constantly insinuating that there were compromising things on various powerful people. What's funny is that Trump himself, even before he was in a position to declassify this stuff, had accused other powerful people of doing these things.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
That island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
You also have the fact that Jeffrey Epstein was in touch with other convicted pedophiles. Larry Nassar, he was writing letters. So the idea, once again, that he was just by himself, off by himself, doing things on his island by himself, and then taking calls with people like Bill Gates simply for philanthropic advice, really pushes the bounds of belief. Don't forget, a close associate of Bill Gates was named a fallback executor on the will of Jeffrey Epstein, which he, by the way, said he was shocked by and he deeply regrets meeting Epstein. Bill Gates has said similar things to that effect. Of course, Bill Gates fraternized with Epstein after he was convicted of crimes. Previously, he told the Wall Street Journal, I didn't have any business relationship or friendship with him, but in fact, he met multiple times with him at his Manhattan townhouse. Now, once again,
all of these people are sickos, I'm telling you. All of them. All of them. Money just makes you more of who you are. Like, if you're kind of a little bit freaky when you're poor, oof, what's gonna happen to you if you become a millionaire or a billionaire? You're just gonna be out there doing, you know, the most debaucherous, the most freaky stuff you can think of. Like, this is what happens. People just... it just escalates, and the more money you have, the weirder you can get with it, right? Because at some point, you don't even need to find people that consent to at the weird stuff you want to do. You just pay people to keep their mouths shut. You just, you know, yeah, people, yeah, it's just disgusting. Yuck. Oh, what happened?
I have to say real quick, all of these people are innocent until proven guilty. All of them deny doing anything toward But my point is, there are already too many associations to make the lone trafficker theory make any sense. For example, Jean-Luc Brunel was somebody who apparently trafficked a bunch of people to Epstein, who himself abused a bunch of women and even was charged for it. He was charged for some really awful things and then later found dead in his cell. Interestingly, Epstein was actually a financier of Brunel's modeling agency, where a lot of this alleged abuse happened. So once again, the idea of the lone trafficker just doesn't make sense, because Epstein's directly linked to another guy who was also abusing women. So after all of this, they're really asking you to believe the unbelievable. They're asking you to not believe what they've said about this case, both out of office and now in power. They're asking you to not believe public reporting linking Epstein to other known files. They're asking you not to believe suspicious circumstances regarding settlement.
I think it's really interesting that Bill and Melinda Gates broke up around the time all this Epstein stuff came out. I think that's really interesting. I think she was like, oh, I'm married to a monster. I think that's the conclusion that she came to. And I think that's why their marriage ended. I mean, I would divorce somebody if I found stuff of that nature out about my husband. I would be horrified. I would want to run as far away and as quickly as I could. Like, it would be nuts.
Of powerful people, they're asking you to believe that Epstein was just the greatest tax advisor and financial advisor on the planet that all of these billionaires needed to consult, despite the fact that there are entire organizations built around providing the same services as this without the, links to crimes. They're asking you to believe that when people are talking about Snow White and Beauty and the Beast, they're referencing Disneyland. And they're especially asking you to believe that they have found 900 new victims since reviewing these files and exactly 0 new perpetrators. So I'm just not buying it personally. I find it insulting to the intelligence of every single person who's ever looked at this story. And yeah, it really makes me feel like this was a appropriate time to launch a crime is legal merch collection, to be honest. So yeah, this is probably my last video on this.
All right, well, that was a video from CoffeeZilla's second channel, I believe, called Voidzilla. So if you want to like and subscribe to his channel, that's probably good for him. I have the worst headache, guys, and it's not getting better. It's getting worse, and none of my mods are here today as well, which is kind of unwise to stream without any moderators. So I'm probably going to end the stream, but I will be back tomorrow night at the same time for a full stream. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Sorry it's a short one. I'm looking at PCs, so I'm trying to buy a new PC as soon as I can. I don't want to get ripped off, so I'm trying to like do research and see what I can buy. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.